Creative Journeys is your go-to podcast for all things creativity. I'm your co-host, Dave Petrosky, chair of the Communication, Media, and Screen Studies Department.
And I am your co-host, Melanie Uribe, Venezuelan designer and educator. This is a podcast about creativity, what it is in its many forms, and how we can become more creative in our everyday lives.
All right, welcome back.
Welcome, everyone.
Yeah, you could probably hear it in my voice if you listened to the podcast before, but I'm having like a really bad allergy week. So I feel a little hoarse at this point. So if you hear that, well, you know, I'm not sick. I'm just dealing with allergies. It doesn't seem like any of the medicines that I've been taking have been helping. And it's making me very self-conscious. So of course I have to lead the show off with that. But how is everybody else doing?
We're doing good. Right. How's our guest doing?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Yes, I understand your allergy woes.
Yeah,
it's a bad time.
Yeah, and it started with mowing the lawn over the weekend, and then it just went straight downhill from there. So I'm a little froggy.
You are fine, Dave. You're fine.
Well, good. All right, maybe it gives me a little bit more resonance or persona or something. I don't know. But we're delighted to have Tarah as our guest. And maybe what you could do, we ask all of our guests to kind of introduce themselves so we don't get anything wrong. So if you could just give us who are you? What you
do? And pretend that nobody knows you.
Okay, that works. Yeah. My name is Tarah Loy-Ashe, and I have a background in aging services. So I do work at Southern in the Department of Recreation, Tourism, and Sport Management. I'm an associate professor. Before I went into academia, I was working in long-term care for about 18 years as a recreation therapist. So I am a certified therapeutic recreation specialist, which is a national certification. So I did that for 18 years before moving into teaching recreation therapy. And I've been at Southern since 2021. And just recently, this past fall semester, we opened our Memory Cafe, which is part of our...
I'm so excited to hear
our
about
institute.
that.
Yes, our institute for adaptive sport and recreation. We can definitely get into that. So that's kind of a little snippet of me, I guess. A lot of experience in working with older adults and just getting kind of into teaching, I guess.
Awesome. I think
10 years or so.
Tara, you're the first guest that we have that has about the same time as me at Southern. Yeah,
really?
So it's refreshing because I started in 2020.
Oh,
yeah.
You started during COVID.
During COVID, it was strange times.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It was strange times, and I taught on campus because I was like, there's just no way that I'm moving to a new state where I don't know anybody, and then I'm just gonna stay home and teach online. Like for my sanity, I need to go to campus.
Yeah.
So I was one of the very few people on ground.
Yeah. I mean, it seems so long ago now. Like, I mean, it just really feels like it was a lifetime ago. And, we keep saying, a campus hasn't recovered or that we haven't, and we're still trying to acclimate to things and all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, it's so hard to, like, just even wrap my head around the fact that we went everywhere in a mask. Every day. And like, I just remember like having allergies. I mean, I'm bringing it back to my allergies, but just wearing the mask and having an allergy attack with the mask was brutal because it's hard enough to breathe as it is when you're congested and everything. And then you put on the mask and it just exacerbates it. But so I really do want to talk about the Memory Cafe because I'm really intrigued by that. So could you tell me a little bit about how it's set up or what it is, and then we could talk a little bit more about like how it's going. And that kind of
Sure. So the Memory Cafe was designed to support caregivers of loved ones that are diagnosed with Alzheimer's or related dementia. So there are memory cafes throughout the United States. Our memory cafe is actually the first one in New Haven, which is really great. We have about 130,000 caregivers in the state of Connecticut. And as you can imagine, caring for someone who has a cognitive deficit, who has this diagnosis, there's no cure for, there can be a lot of burden associated with that. A lot of felt. So, there's, maybe people aren't comfortable, being in certain situations. Maybe they don't have time to go out and really enjoy themselves. So the Memory Cafe is designed to bring together the caregiver and also the loved one that's diagnosed into a community. This is essentially what it is. So come into the community, you're with people who are experiencing the same things that you're experiencing, and we'll provide some activities. We have refreshments, we offer socialization. So it's really a chance to get to know other people that are experiencing the same thing as these caregivers.
I think it's such an amazing initiative, an opportunity for the caregivers and others. And I know that we also have some sort of like affinity group on campus for
caregivers.
Yep. I've been trying to join. I'm just always in a very important meeting or teaching at the same time. But you know this because I have told you, but I don't think I have ever mentioned this in the podcast. My father has Alzheimer's. And I am his full-time caretaker from another country, which makes it very stressful, very difficult. And honestly, like it took me a while to just kind of like get out of my bubble and be like, no, you know what? I need to learn more about this disease because it's part of my family. I need to maybe like start finding community in Connecticut, just because having someone to talk to will help. And I met Sarah last year, Tarah last year at the Alzheimer's walk.
Yes.
And I didn't know what I was going to expect. I just, me and my husband went and we're like, okay, let's represent Southern.
It was great.
It was fantastic. Fantastic. I can't wait for the next one.
It's September 27th. I just saw. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to put it in my calendar. And I got the opportunity to meet you, and we walked with some wonderful other colleagues that I met too. And then I learned about the Memory Cafe. Like it opened like just a few weeks after. And I've been trying to make it too, but it's such a fantastic opportunity. And I'm so glad that we're doing something like that here at Southern.
Yes. I tell our students that it's a slow burn. So we have some couples that are joining us. We definitely have capacity for more. Certainly, if you want to join and pop in and experience what we're doing, that'd be wonderful too. We do have some caregivers that come without their loved ones, and they're really still making those connections with other individuals that are, having the same experiences. And caregiver burden is real. It's extremely stressful. So we're trying to alleviate that stress. And what we did in the first semester, we brought in our recreation therapy students. So we had 4, I called them fellows, that came in. They actually designed activities and facilitated them for our participants. And then this past semester, we have a graduate student who's doing a fabulous job, Samantha Fletter. She is doing a great job taking control of the Memory Cafe, and she's designed all of the programming and facilitating that as well. So it's really a great opportunity for students to interact with community members and become more comfortable around not only older adults, but adults that are diagnosed with dementia, because there really is a need in our workforce, especially in Connecticut, for people that go into aging studies and aging services. That's really important. We did include a part of the Memory Cafe where we move caregivers into another room, and we talk about more support services a little bit more candidly while students are with the loved ones that are diagnosed with dementia. So we have partnered with Marriage and Family Therapy in order to bring that caregiver support piece in. We'd like to do more partnering. So we certainly have capacity to bring in other departments as well. So something that's fairly interprofessional, which, we really like to promote in health and human services.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a really a wonderful thing. I mean, my grandmother had late Alzheimer's towards the end of her life, and it was a real her health deteriorated like gradually over time, but like when the Alzheimer actually like took hold, it was very fast decline after that. And so, and she had been in an assisted living facility for, a couple of years before, everything happened. But I know that my parents struggled with that. And my parents and my grandmother lived in Florida at the time. So I was kind of very much removed from the whole situation. But it's been something that's very much been on my mind because, I know that's it's going to be something that's part of our family history, and it may be something that I have to deal with personally.
Well,
right?
it's like when I talk to people and we joke about, I don't relax. I don't know how to relax. I'm still trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
But I always joke around in a very serious way, and I say like, well, I'm never gonna retire.
I say the same thing.
I'm
Yes.
always gonna be doing something because,
Yeah.
and one, because I can't imagine just doing nothing. But two, I am terrified, like very much terrified of getting Alzheimer's because my grandmother had it, and she had it very, very young. My grandmother started having symptoms in her early 60s, and she had an early retirement, which made it even worse. And now my dad, it was a very similar situation, more mid-60s, early retirement, and that just immediately went down a decline. Me and my uncle started noticing symptoms around 2018, 2019. And in 2021 that I was able to go back to Venezuela, I had him like full checkup, all the tests and everything, because I needed the confirmation. I'm like, I know what this is, but I need that confirmation so I can move forward and figure out what the next steps are going to be.
I have to send you information about modifiable risk factors. There's
Yes,
actually studies done of different behaviors that we can engage in or choices that we're making that we have control over that can reduce the risk.
Yes, please send that
Yes,
to me.
we have-
Because I'm super aware, and I have obviously I've gotten like the DNA test, the gene, and I do have the gene. Doesn't mean that it's going to be present, but I have it, so I'm like super aware of like I always need to stay constantly active.
Yes, yes. We have an honor student in our department who's doing his thesis work on modifiable risk factors related to dementia. So he'll be sending out a survey and collecting data on that as well.
Okay.
But yes, the research shows that engaging in physical activities, reducing drug use and alcohol use, all those can not prevent you from being diagnosed with Alzheimer's, but it can slow the process.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think the thing that I'm finding very intriguing by this is just that what we're basically dealing with because it's such a complicated and difficult condition to kind of manage and work through and all that. It's basically eliciting this like necessary creativity, right? In the way that we're approaching the problem. Like we, there is no pat solution. Like you're saying, like we can, sort of mitigate some of these things, but that's not going to be the only thing that matters. And if we are diagnosed with that, what do we do then, or how do we cope with it? Or how does our family cope with it, and that sort of thing? And I think that it's so very, in a way, it's very comforting to know that creativity and engagement in sort of creative cognitive processes is so much a part of the solution, right? And I think that's just. I mean, it makes me feel good about the idea that, that's something that we talk about all the time, but that it has this sort of, I don't know, I guess a feeling of, that it has more it's more than just self-expression or something. It actually has like sort of a therapeutic value and that sort of thing.
Yes. There's almost two sides of a coin with that because learning new things is something that keeps your brain sharp. So it's not just continually doing the crossword puzzles or the Sudoku puzzles, but maybe learning a new language. That's what's really going to keep your brain active. But then the other side, being creative, once there's diagnosis and, as a caregiver, working with someone or even caring for someone that's been diagnosed, it's how we can be creative in interacting with them and engaging them because it's going to constantly change, as you probably know. And each day is going to be different. So how can we be creative in making this a positive experience every single day for that individual and then also for yourself as well. So maybe, taking time for ourselves looks a little bit different. And then also how we're interacting and, how we're trying to really encourage someone to, do their activities of daily living and, do all those things that need to get done in a day. So, creativity is really a big part of the whole, I think, experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's, and it comes from little aspects such as like I have to make signs and put them around the house of like, this is how you're going to do things to like, okay, how do we convince him to play a game, right? So the caregiver that he has right now is terrible. And that's something that I need to deal with this summer. But I have a fantastic neighbor. And every couple of days, she goes down to the apartment with her son and they bring Scrabble or any other game and convince my dad to play with it from like the child's perspective because he's already kind of like a child. He has gone to that point. But having an 11-year-old with him, it makes such a big difference. And even like, oh, let's make some Legos. What do you think I should do this? Like, let's build this pirate. And it's impressive. And I think it's fantastic how caregivers are and how they have to get creative to like make the food, like make sure that he drink his protein shake every day because, like the age, losing muscle, losing fat, that's also a problem with the disease too.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's also one of the things that I have been thinking about a lot lately because I have my whole family is aging at this point. My mom is getting older and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, I guess there's also just the natural aging process, and it might not be Alzheimer's, but just age-related dementia and that sort of thing. And I think that my aunt may have some of those kind of things happening with her right now, and just trying to figure out like how to deal with it is real. Like, what do we even do? Like, and I guess the other thing is because I am distant. That's why Melanie, you're talking about like how you're caring for your dad from a distance. Like, I can't even like wrap my head around that.
Yeah, I have gotten to the point that sometimes I'm in classes or like I know nothing's gonna happen right now and my phone is on the floor, so nobody can see it. But sometimes my phone is with me, and I just have to announce in class. I'm sorry, everyone. My phone is going to ring at some point because I'm waiting. My dad's at the doctor or something simple as the groceries. Like I pay for the groceries. So when the person is at the store, they text me at the checkout and they send me pictures of the grocery bill. And luckily I can pay everything mobile, and that makes something easy. I always say like one thing that COVID did is that it really made us all go in a mobile world, remote world.
So true. Yes.
Grocery delivery, you can now just tap and pay because that made my life so much easier. Having to take care of my dad from another country.
Also people with disabilities too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes. They kind of normalize.
Yeah, but I have to do that. And it's like, okay, he has his pills. He doesn't have any more pills. Somebody has to go to their pharmacy and get them. So I'm constantly on my phone. Or even like sometimes he starts calling me and I'll answer the phone call and it is something silly. but he gets stuck on his mind for a whole week. So every week, so that whole week, he will call me every day to ask me the same thing. And like this just happened like a week ago. I didn't answer. And my husband happened to be in my office and he saw that it was my dad calling. He's like, everything okay? You're not answering. And I'm like, yes, everything is fine. I've had the same conversation for the past 4 days in a row. I know it's going to be the same thing. And I just can't have it right now. So everything is okay. But I'm attached to my phone in case something, in case something happens, because he should not be going out on his own, yet he still goes out on his own. And sometimes he'll go to my neighbor's house and be like, I just went to the bank and they told me my bank account doesn't exist. And then it's like, okay, he went to the bank on his own. And it's not the bank across the street or around the block. It's the bank where he goes on the subway and rides the subway for like a good 30 minutes or so and goes to this other bank because that's the bank that he remembers from years ago.
Right. Right.
So like it is stressful, and like I've explained to my mom because I'm very adamant. Like, okay, when I go this summer, I need a new caregiver. I don't care anymore. This person has been with him for a few years already, but it's just not working. And like I keep being told, like, yes, but think about the cost. If you stay with this person, it's gonna be cheaper if you find someone new. And I finally was like, it is about my peace of mind. If I don't have peace of mind, if I am constantly stressed out every day because of him, what is my quality of life to do my day-to-day tasks, to do my work, to do my other things?
And your overall health too.
Yeah. So I'm like, if I have to spend more money and I have to get another client or I have to get a third job or I have to teach over the summer, then this is what I need to do for that peace of mind.
Right. Right. And I can imagine it's very important for him to remain where he is.
Yes.
As well.
Well, I had to move him last summer. So we had to sell our family home of 35 years, which the place he had been in for 35 years. And it was a big house and I couldn't maintain the house anymore because it was all on me financially. So it was finally like, okay, I can't keep up with the upkeep of this house. We have to sell it. Got him into an apartment. It's very nice, very contained. 2 small bedroom apartment. That is nice. But obviously that came with some like changes and some big decline because of the big change. It was good because he didn't want to move. But once we were there after a week, somebody asked him like, how's it going? And he's like, oh, I've been living here for years already. And I was like, oh. He already feels like he's been here for years. That's a good sign. And I met fantastic neighbors, which at the house we didn't have because it was a single family home. At a building, I at least do have a little bit of community of neighbors that help. So that's been nice. Fantastic. Yeah. But over the last couple of months, because this was in August, I would say maybe over the last 3 or so months, now I'm like, maybe every time that I go home now, in every visit, I should find a new facility and check it out and see how they are. Yes. Because I think it's going to happen sooner than I expected. Yeah. He is very well. He's going to be 76 this year. Physically, he's great. So, which is what makes it harder and why he still does not accept that he has a disease or he has Alzheimer's. So you got to talk to him like very calm, not ever disagree, just follow along with everything. But I think it's gonna come down sooner than later because he's starting to bring things home that he showed up with a big balloon arrangement.
Where'd he get it?
And he sent me a picture. He just found it on the street. And he brought it up to the apartment because he thought it was pretty. And he was like, I can put it in the living room.
It's always good to look for services before you think you need them.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I don't know any of the services. I don't know any of the houses. So I already told a friend, I'm like, listen, I know you have visited one of my best friend's mom. I know you have visited a few places. So when I'm there in June, maybe take me to one or two so I can start, and then maybe in the next year or so, I have visited a few because I don't know if they have like wait lists and the cost.
A lot of them do, yes.
And how everything is. And I'm very picky. So I know like it's gonna be difficult for me to find a place where I feel like he's gonna be like super well taken care of because my dad gave me everything. So it's like I need to give him everything back.
In the United States, some wait lists are a year or more.
Oh yeah, I tried to
Depending on
bring
the
him
facility.
here. I tried to bring him here a couple years ago, and the government denied it.
Oh.
Yeah, because I thought it was going to be easy because my dad actually grew up here. He was born in Venezuela, but he grew up here until his mid-20s, where he got in a little bit of trouble because he liked to smoke pot. And then my grandparents were like, we're going to send you to Venezuela so you can see where you're from and maybe struggle a little bit. And then he met my mom, and my mom never wanted to move here. Back in the day, like being a citizen wasn't a big deal. Like people just had their green cards and it was fine. So he never became a citizen, and because he didn't come back, he lost his green card. So when I requested him, and then we were coming all the time because my entire family on my dad's side had stayed here. So we were here constantly. When I requested him, it appeared on the background search that he had an incident when he was 19 years old where he was caught smoking pot. And even though it was like taken out of his record for immigration law, it's still there. And they said no. And they were like, no. The answer is no. You're going to have to appeal these. And this was the same year that Venezuela and the U.S. closed relationships and all the embassies shut down.
Yeah.
So like I got into like this limbo where it was like, you're going to have to transfer that case to another country. And then by the time I was able to do that, the case had expired because they only gave you a specific time. And it was like, you have to do everything all over again and spend the money all over again. And then by the time I was going to do it again, then he was like, well, no, I don't want to move anymore. And I'm like, okay, well, now there's no way that I could do this now if he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
The opportunity was when he was still willing. So now I've already made peace of mind that like, okay, he's going to stay there. He's happy there. I just have to take care of everything.
That must be difficult.
It
being
is.
so far away and trying to do that.
It is. I go to therapy.
That's good.
It helps.
Everyone should.
Yeah.
Big plug for
true.
therapy.
Yeah. It helps. I talk a lot about him in therapy.
So, how long has the Memory Cafe been working? Like how long has it been?
Two semesters.
Two
So we
semesters,
started
okay.
last fall.
Okay.
And we run during the academic year. So we won't
Okay.
be open during the summer.
Okay.
So next week is actually our final session for the spring semester. We have the cafe open every Tuesday in the afternoons from 2:30 to 4. 2:30 to 4.
And it's been getting a lot of participation in traffic.
It has, like a little bit. So slow burn again.
Yeah, sure.
So we have different, folks coming in, and we've had some individuals that maybe don't feel it's right for them yet. But that we're really hoping to work on the promotion of the cafe.
Sure.
So really making more connections in the community.
Yeah.
So we are, working with the Alzheimer's Association and also Pansy Home Care and Milford Senior Center. We're lucky that we're housed in Health and Human Services. So we have the support from the Adaptive Sport and Recreation Institute. And we also received a grant in the fall.
Nice.
Yes, from NCTRC. Let me see if I get that right. National Council for Therapeutic Recreation Certification. TRC. I think that's right. Yes, so we received a grant from them to get us started. So we're really hoping that we increase participation. But we'll be open as long as, even if we just have one couple, we'll be open so we can offer those services. We'd like to have more, but we're certainly, if it's a smaller group, then that's fine. We're fine with that.
Do you maybe you already talked about this in your team and planning? Because I know of the Alzheimer's walk, we all had such a great time that we talked about like the possibility of us having a table and having some merch.
Yes.
And I wonder if we are able to have a Southern table that the Memory Cafe can be there and advertise.
That's a great idea. Yes.
Yeah, I think that would be a fantastic promotional venue.
Yes. I'm hoping that we'll have a larger team for the Alzheimer's walk too. So maybe we can start a little bit earlier with
and
getting folks to join.
My offer to help with like t-shirts, making t-shirts or something else that has our logo and stuff is still there.
Amazing. Yeah, everyone listening, join our team for the Alzheimer's walk. Yes.
When do the registration opens?
It might actually be open now or fairly soon. I think they start soon with the putting the teams together and encouraging the fundraising.
Okay, so Jay, I'll check on that so that we can put the link on the description.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be great.
And I'll reach out to them about us having the same team too. So if people want to register and walk with us, with Southern Connecticut State University, that'd be fabulous. But that would be wonderful to have a table because it was well attended and it was a beautiful space too with Lighthouse Park, I think. Yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous that day.
Yeah, well, actually one of my favorite things were the flowers. They had these flowers that were just wind flowers and they were color coded. So there were 3 or 4 colors. And then you will write your name or your loved one's name in the petals. So like one color was if you're a caregiver. Another color is if you are the deceased of the person with Alzheimer's or dementia. Another color if you're the family member. And another color if you just know someone and you were just there for support. So like you have people with multiple flowers and it was beautiful winded day. So the flowers were constantly going. And then as we did our walk, because it was through the beach, there was a spot where everyone put their flowers on.
Yes, it was a little garden.
Yes, and it was a little flower garden. And with the wind, the waves would make, it was just beautiful.
I have pictures from that day.
Too. Yeah, me too. It was gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious. Is what drew you to this? Like, I mean, this is like this clearly is part. A big part of your career at this point, right? But like, what was your path to get here?
So I have no personal connection to Alzheimer's or even caring for older adults, more on the professional side. So when I was a wee student many years ago, I won't say what year I graduated. So I originally planned on working with children. That was what I wanted to do. And then I actually worked with children and teens and said, oh no, I don't want to do this. And I was very interested in animal-assisted therapy and something that I would eventually bring into the nursing homes where I worked. And I actually did an internship in Florida at Clearwater Aquarium and worked with the sea animals there and again, working with children. And I needed an internship in order to become certified. So I needed to be supervised by a CTRS so that I could sit for the exam. And so one of the last openings was at an assisted living facility, and I could finish it in the semester that I need to finish it. And I did that and absolutely fell in love with it. It was wonderful. And I said, oh my gosh, I want to do this. I like having the sustained relationships. So when you're working in maybe a clinical setting or more skilled setting, there's a lot of people coming in and out, different clients. And when you're working in long-term care, generally, your clients, the residents that are living there, they're staying there, so that they plan to be there. So it's really an opportunity to cultivate a relationship, get to know individuals. And that's when you can be more creative, when you know someone and you're saying, if this isn't working today, let's try this, doing things differently. So that's how I fell into it. So it wasn't intended at all. And so I just, thought this is very comfortable to me. And I liked that older adults were more at my pace at that time. And I don't know if I'm just an old soul, but, with children and, working with teens, things can change on a dime. And not to say that that is not the case for someone that's diagnosed with Alzheimer's. But there is a certain skill set that's involved and, kind of this, more of a pace that I was more comfortable with. So that's just how it happened. So and I just kind of never looked back.
Right time.
Yeah.
And how did the transition to education happen?
That happened.
That's a big, big gap.
I wanted something different. I was really looking to kind of be challenged a little bit more. So I was still enjoying my residence and working, but I also knew that I couldn't do that for not much longer, but for the rest of my life, we'll say. Because there is a lot of physical demand working as a recreation director. That's what I was doing at the time. So I decided, I also, feel the need to have this connection. And if I'm not around, like I know I'm doing a good job, but I'm only one person and I'm only here for a certain amount of time. So if I could share my expertise and teach another generation, then that can, be sustained for a longer amount of time. So I actually went back and when I was, I think 41 for my PhD, and then earned my PhD and started in education. And so I was lucky enough to do that. So I do have a PhD in recreation therapy, very, very specific. And I've been lucky that, I'm in the department I'm in at Southern. I actually started in the healthcare studies program that was new because I do a lot of, interdisciplinary and interprofessional collaboration with different professions. So I've worked with occupational therapy, physical therapy, healthcare management, administration, all of that. So I started there, and then there was a chance for me to move to into the actual therapeutic recreation program with Mary Jo, and and I took that opportunity. So I'm very happy where I landed, and I'm still working with people that are in the building. So still my healthcare study peeps, I'm still seeing them and interacting and collaborating with them, and it really is the way that our school is set up. It's a great opportunity for collaboration. I can't say enough about that. It's really nice, and everyone's very eager to do that, which is wonderful.
That's amazing. And I think that's one of the things that we've enjoyed a lot with having conversations with folks that are on campus is that we're getting a chance to see how these collaborations and partnerships are developing, and a lot of the stuff we don't know. It's you live in a community that's sort of broad and diverse, and you just can't see everything that's happening.
Well, we tend to become siloed because of our schedules. We're so busy. Hence me mixing up my buildings and going to Davis instead of Earl. Not being familiar this side of the campus necessarily because, I'm staying more on the Fifth Street side.
I still have to ask where things are.
Yes.
Oh
And it's a small campus.
I mean, we're not huge, but it's big enough that you're going to get your buildings fixed up.
Yes.
As soon as somebody talks about there was buildings, like I had been here for over 10 years, and I had never heard the building prefix OB.
What is that?
That's
the building right in front of Wintergreen.
Yeah.
Office building.
Office building.
That's what OB is.
OB. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I had never paused to go there or
learned about it in the fall semester because I had a meeting with some people from institutional advancement that just wanted to talk to me about a design because they found out that I do collectible figures and they wanted to do some stuff. And the meeting was in OB something. And I was just like, what is this?
Yeah.
Where am I going? And I ended up asking some of my friends in Wintergreen.
Yeah.
Because, you're in an office building. You must know where OB is. Somebody explained this to me.
And is that near the new business building?
It's literally, it's a one-story building across the street from Wintergreen.
That's where the recreation department used to be before the new
Before the new
building
building.
was
wow.
built.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I know where that is. So that's not, now that's OB.
That it's OB. But like for my presentation, Alex had never been to Davis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
Well, and
So
so
he
now I
was
don't feel so
also-
bad that I got lost going to Davis. Right?
he was also like, I have never been to this building.
I know it's right near me, and I'd never been.
well, there you go.
I know. I learned a lot of things today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
getting around
But
campus.
and that's part of why I think a big part of why we've liked doing the show is that we were just talking about this is our second year, so we're just getting to talk with folks that we don't get to, because and I feel like I say this every episode, but we're usually like in meetings and,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
things like that. And you don't get to actually talk about like what it is. What do you do? What are you passionate about? What do you like? How's your career going? That kind of stuff. And it's just so nice to be able to talk to folks that are doing such great things. And I think that the projects that you're working on, the Memory Cafe, is just amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that it's just such a credit to the creativity, but the collaborative spirit. Because I think that that's what that's what makes everything work, and that's the solution to so many different problems. Is
Yeah.
like how can we just like talk each other through it or help each other through it?
Yeah, we need a village.
Yeah,
especially our
absolutely.
caregivers.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely.
You can't do it by yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then in the collaboration spirit, you mentioned all the places that you're collaborating with, but I also wonder in the future, and I'm just gonna put our departments in the mix. Like
sure.
communications and art and design
Yes.
could collaborate too in maybe developing a workshop or
That'd be
facilitating.
amazing.
Facilitating
That would
a
be
workshop.
amazing. Yes. I will say we do have some very creative participants. So, our loved ones that are coming in, they're sharing, their artwork, they're sharing their handcrafts that they're really, really proud of. So there is that creative streak too within the individuals that are coming to the Memory Cafe, and they would definitely enjoy something like
And
that.
I wonder if you have connected with Sarah Waldman.
Yes.
Because I think some of the things that she does in the sip shop
Yes.
could translate really well to
She's actually
the
speaking.
cafe.
We have a conference tomorrow. It's actually the first recreation therapy conference in the state of Connecticut. First time we're hosting it as Southern, something new for us. And Zara is actually going to be presenting
awesome.
on her sip shop at the conference. You're excited about. Yes. She's
so
amazing.
She's so amazing. But we are running out of time.
Yes, we are.
So Tarah, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
talking to
having me.
us,
This is fabulous.
sharing about the Memory Cafe and about your background. We do like to end our episodes with giving students or people a little bit of advice about lives or career path or creative journey. So just wondering if there's anything that you would like to share.
Oh, I think my advice would be try different things because, you don't think you're young now and you have many years ahead of you and your career could take different paths and go in different directions. So, try something new, even if you think, as an example, working with older adults. I know I don't want to work with older adults. You might enjoy it. We do have some students that, working at the Memory Cafe have changed their perspectives about that. So take opportunities when you can. Don't just say, nope, don't silo yourself right off the bat, being so young. So try different things.
That's great. That's great. So I also need to make our plug for our show. So Creative Journeys, if you want to give us any input on our show, give us suggestions for topics and guests, that sort of thing, we're at creativejpodcast@gmail.com. And we are still soliciting for interns.
One day.
One
day we
we'll
will
get an
find
intern.
one.
Yes. And maybe that's going to be like our running gag. It's kind of like the Spinal Tap drummers. Like, you know, they never quite get the drummer, and the drummer, you know, just sort of explodes or whatever. It's our legendary non-existent intern. But you know, hey, the fall's coming up quick. So we would,
It's a new semester.
yeah. So we would love to have some interns work with us. So if you're interested, same address.
Yeah.
Have a great one, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for
Talk to you next
listening.
time.
Creative Journeys is a podcast produced at Southern Connecticut State University by faculty, students, and staff who are interested in exploring our creative potential.